Thank you, David. Well, that's certainly a unique introduction for me. It's not the normal one, but I like it. So when you see the Nike Foundation on the agenda, me standing here on this stage, and this picture here behind me, you probably think I'm going to talk about charity or philanthropy. And if you're a guy in the room and you know I'm going to talk about the girl effect, you might be thinking, I'm not really sure this session has much to do with me. But my hope is, by the end of this very short talk, that you're going to look at that picture and it's going to have a very different meaning for you. But first, before I jump in, at Nike, we always like to start with a video. And at the Nike Foundation, we tried to start a movement with a video. Have a look. So that video was first seen in January 2009 at the World Economic Forum at Davos. That year, as you remember, was the economic crisis. They had thrown out the full agenda. This session on the adolescent girls' impact on economic development ended up being the third most popular session of all the sessions at Davos. The question was why? And the answer, they told us, that it was a story about solving the world's problems upstream instead of after they've already happened. So we started off with this very, very simple idea. What if you could get to problems upstream? What if you could solve the problem of poverty before it even started in the first place? What if you could get to a girl before she's a woman? If you could get to a girl before she's HIV positive, before she's pregnant, before she's married, before she's burdened with the things that don't make her able to realize her own potential. So we started with that idea, and then we thought, if you could do that, what you do is not just to improve her life, but what you do is the whole world benefits, because we don't spend trillions of dollars trying to solve all the world's problems downstream after they've already happened. So we had to figure out how to do this, and we had to figure out if it was real. It was certainly common sense. So we worked with some amazing partners to design girl programming on the ground and to see if the girl effect was real. And it was. While we were doing that, though, we did need to run the big numbers. So we set out to do the math. Now, the best place to do that was with the World Bank, so the math would have credibility. It took us 5 long years, but we did get the numbers to talk about what was the real impact of changing an individual girl's life. So look at those numbers. They're pretty huge. Okay, in India, $383 billion added to the Indian economy by delaying births, the first birth of girls. That's the equivalent of the complete and total pharmaceutical industry on the globe. So these numbers are very real and very powerful, and they tell us something very, very important. They tell us that what happens to a girl at adolescence actually determines the future of economies. What happens to a girl at adolescence determines the future of societies. So wow, that's cool, you may be thinking, but frankly, I'm really more into climate or global health or some other issue. Well, the Center for Global Development did a study, and they found that $1 invested in an adolescent girl yields a higher return if you want to impact the issue of climate than if you invest $1 in climate. So the opportunity is huge, and we are missing the mark. Less than 2% of every development dollar is spent on adolescent girls. So we aren't missing the mark by a little bit, we're missing the mark by miles and miles, because she's the amplifier of all other issues. So enough about the economics. You all might have heard about a girl who was 8 years old in Yemen who was married to a 40-year-old man. She died on her wedding night from injuries due to sexual trauma. You might have heard about Malala, who was shot in the face as she tried to go to school. Or you may have heard of the rapes in India. All these things are horrendous, and they have something in common. At that moment, the human potential of those individuals is completely wiped out. They have another thing in common. They're not very uncommon. There are 142 million girls who will become child brides over the next 10 years. That's 38,000 girls a year who will become a child bride over the next 10 years. We need to stop that for her, and we need to stop it for the world. So when I was asked to speak about designing for the future, I wasn't really thinking about a cool new product or even a cool new industry. I was thinking about how amazing it would be if we could unleash the potential of half the world's population to really contribute what they can to the world. They could then design the next cool product or revolutionize the next industry, create the next industry, revolutionize politics, get involved in any issue, advance science, create art, write poetry. But they don't have that potential unless we give them that opportunity. Okay, but how? Okay, that sounds probably pretty exciting, pretty amazing, but the question is, how do you actually do this? So let's get really practical. The first thing you've got to do is figure out how to transform one life. And we did this in the same way you would as a business. We treated the girl as a consumer. We went to her one girl at a time until it was thousands of girls and thousands of hours of listening and talking and actually including her, truly including her in everything we did, from program design all the way to measurement and evaluation. And what we found out was how to transform her life was actually really, really simple. Each of you who are sitting here today got to Google Zeitgeist and is sitting in this chair because two really simple things happened to you. When you were a kid, there was some moment where you sort of said, "Oh, not so bad. Actually, I can do something. I've got some potential here. I see there's a chance." But then something magical happened for every one of you. Someone, your father, your mother, sister, your brother, a friend, or just some random person who happened to notice what you had created, told you you were special. or that you had enormous potential, or that you had something really unique to contribute. And the combination of those two things is what makes a person successful. A sense of their own self, a sense of your self-worth, and then an environment around you that supports you in that. It gives you a chance to realize it. Now, what about an adolescent girl? What does she need to succeed? She needs the exact same thing. So we call that ignite her, transform her world. She needs to have the experience of feeling her own self-worth. Wow, I can do something. And then at the same time, something around her has to support her and conspire with her for her success. Now, this can happen on a very large scale, as it might have for some of you, or a very tiny scale, as it might have for some of you as well. Something very, very tiny. But this equation has to happen for success. Now, let's take an example. We'll use Ethiopia. So in Ethiopia, 52% of girls are married before the age of 15. 21% of girls report that they have no friends. It's hard to imagine, but those girls report literally 0 friends. So we set out with our partners to develop a program to address these issues. What we did is 2 things. On one hand, we created girl clubs so girls had a sense of support and a place for them to develop their self-worth. And then we worked with communities so that they could learn about and have a dialogue around girls being more valuable than being traded in marriage on the most important level. This program has, wherever it's been, there are 0 child marriages that have occurred before the age of 15. And now remember, over half of the girls in this region were being married before the age of 15. So that sounds pretty great, doesn't it? Sounds like huge progress, and you get pretty excited when that stuff starts to happen. But there's a huge problem. It's too expensive. And you've got to get to the last girl. You can't say, this is great, we got to 300 girls, or 500, or even 1,000. You gotta get to all of them to know that you've actually succeeded. And so you face the problem of scale. Now, well, we figured there had to be another part of this solution. So we took the insight that we have to work on the demand side as well as the supply side. And we took the insight that a girl needs connectivity and that child marriage stands as a unique barrier in her ability to realize her potential. And we worked with girls directly and created something called Yenya. Yenya is a teenage girl brand platform, and it starts with a radio drama. We created the first ever girl band in Ethiopia. 5 diverse girls came together, and they came together around 2 simple things: the love of music and the desire to talk about and deal with the challenges they face as girls. The team in Ethiopia designed with girls and for girls based on the hypothesis that if this is the music. So these girls, the music was designed and the radio drama was designed for them to talk about issues every week, a new song to eventually create a whole album and a dialogue. Now in Ethiopia, music is how culture and information is transmitted. So it was the most culturally relevant way that we could get to girls. And we worked with Ethiopian musicians and designers and writers and artists and created it. And the results have been pretty phenomenal. Girls now are reporting that they have a greater sense of their future and are planning for it, more importantly. They have increase in social capital. There's an improvement in boys and parents and gatekeepers' perceived value of girls, and not just that, but their behavior toward girls, which is what we're really looking for. The behavior change is where it all changes. And most importantly, the cost is realistic and sustainable. So again, this is really exciting. But again, it's not enough. It's one girl, it's one community, it's one country, and we've still got to get to those 250 million adolescent girls. So one last piece before I close. You may have heard of the Millennium Development Goals. These are the goals that the world has set to stop poverty. The world's in the process right now of designing the post-2015 agenda. Now, the way this looks is we got a lot of really smart people and policymakers in closed room doors coming up with strategies and policies and people lobbying them to try to get their favorite issue in. We thought, well, what if we try to do this differently? What if we actually, for the first time, included girls in the design process? What would that actually look like? Have a look.
At the start of the Millennium, world leaders wrote a set of development goals to help end poverty. The goals were well-intentioned, but they left out someone vital to their success: the girl.
I wish I could walk feeling secure.
I wish to learn how to read and write.
I wish there was no more delinquency.
I wish for my country to be well.
Adolescent girls are the future. They have the potential to end poverty before it starts. And right now, new goals are being written for the world. This time, the girls' voices must be heard. So for the first time, girls and policy experts are uniting to write a girl declaration that lays out the goals that we all need to see on the post-2015 agenda. So far, we've been to 7 countries and consulted with over 250 adolescent girls who are living in poverty, with hundreds more to come.
My dream is study well.
I want to get more information about sexuality.
I wish to be very selective in choosing my
To
husband.
make my mother live a good life.
Their voices were taken to the Women Deliver conference in Kuala Lumpur, giving delegates a rare chance to hear them speak under the Girl Tree. 250 voices representing the 250 million girls living in poverty today.
Safe, healthy, educated girls grow into strong women who transform the world.
The more that we can get girls stating their dreams, their aspirations, their ambitions, the better we all will be.
If we don't obsess about the adolescent girl, she simply is not included.
So it's critical to invest in girls. Right now, we need girls from around the world to be using their voice.
Over the coming months, the Girl Declaration will be refined as hundreds more girls are consulted in 7 new countries. Their lives are all different, but their needs are strikingly similar, and their voices are being unified in the goals of the Girl Declaration. Read all about it and show your support online right now. We want to make those voices so loud the whole world will sit up and pay attention.
So each of you can be a part of this as we try to get policymakers to include girls. The girls really need your support, so you can go to girleffect.org and join in if you feel like it. So what's my point today? 3 simple things. First, the best way to design for the future is to go upstream and unleash the most important thing on the planet, which is human potential, whether in your business or your family, or in this case, the power of adolescent girls to transform the world. Secondly, choose something that will cause transformative, seismic change instead of incremental progress. For too long, we've been okay with incremental progress. And 3, be ridiculously ambitious and just get it done. So, I hope this picture now has some new meaning for you, and you just might consider that we can solve poverty before it starts in the first place. That you might just consider that the adolescent girl in poverty is the most and best investment on the planet today if we want to create transformative change in every area. Because when she wins, we win. So, on behalf of every adolescent girl in poverty, all 250 million of them, thank you.